here, and we are back with another video. And this is tough. Well, I spoke with Drew recently, and I'm not even gonna mince words here. Drew said, "Yo, Andor was the best TV show I've ever seen." And I said, "You are smoking crack, sir. There is no way that Andor or anything Disney is putting out is the best anything ever." But fuck me, it was good. It was very, very good. I mean, as soon as I get out, they pull me back in. Man, Andor was good. What a surprise from Disney. I mean, I didn't swear off Star Wars television shows. I did say that. Pretty much swore off the movies. So you haven't won me back on the movies yet, Star Wars or Lucasfilms. But, yeah, man, Andor was good. I should just get this out of the way now. Mandalorian Season 3 was not as good. Mandalorian just isn't that good, period. I mean, so I don't want to give their shows too much credit. But Andor was surprisingly and delightfully good. And let's talk about why. Okay, so first off, Andor is the story of the rebel spy Cassian Andor and his formative years in the rebellion, and his subsequent origin story. The show has like a heavy political focus and extremely competent writing. Extremely competent writing, which is like obviously is always going to be your main goal when you have a story that's political, because you have to balance politics, right? People's motives, people's underlying motives and objectives. But I really wanted to give a nod to the writers, and I'm not sure, it looks like two brothers, Tony Gilroy, Dan Gilroy, and then Stephen Schiff. I mean, they deserve credit because the show is well written. The characters are well written, and the characters are well acted. Let's talk about that. Diego Luna as Andor, which was good, because this is all pretty much going off what we've seen from Rogue One, and Cassian was in Rogue One as well, and Rogue One was a great film, the only Disney Star Wars film that I acknowledge, really. I mean, it was a good film, but the one thing I always kind of, wanted them to do was stay away from the Skywalker saga, right? I mean, you can only get so much out of it, and you guys have got so much out of it, and it's like they pulled 3 more movies out of it. Every show has to be linked to it in some way, and it's just, if you read any literature in the Star Wars universe, which is exactly what they're doing, building off the universe that Lucas built. He really didn't build off of it himself, he just created it, right? So it's out there, it's open, there's so much there to be done, i.e. Mandalorian. Although the show is average at best, I like the fact that it's stepping away from the norms that we always have in Star Wars, and there's just not a story to tell really anymore there. I mean, you're just ruining the story that you've told, i.e. Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was terrible, absolutely terrible. But Diego Luna as Andor was absolutely fantastic. His character was great. Gosh, he was just good. It was just refreshing, like usually by episode 3 in a Disney show, I grow to hate the protagonist, but he was good, man. But equally, if not better, was to me was Kyle Soller, the guy that played Cyril Karn. Fantastic. I mean, this is just how villains are built. I mean, I'm not sure if it's towards the end of the season, it kind of looked like he was going to play a secondary role to Miro, which would be all right, especially if they go with like a love interest sort of angle, which it seemed like they were doing, because then there's a little bit of equal footing there, because I don't want him to just go on the sidelines now, because like they're creating a great villain with there's something in defeat, right? Like if you just take a villain and his characteristic is badass, right? He's a badass. He doesn't lose, whatever. I mean, it's probably not going to work, right? Especially when you're just interjecting him into a story where nobody knows or cares about. when you have somebody like this that feels human, when you humanize a villain, it's so much easier to get behind. Like, I was rooting for this guy at one point because he really didn't do anything wrong. Two of his coworkers got killed, and you find out, that's not how the world works. There's politics, Like, we don't want to stir up anything because it's a bad look for us if we do. So we have to kind of just brush it under the rug, and he wasn't okay with that. And that's kind of what sparks his anger. But, yeah, but just really good. And speaking of which, I brought her up. Denise Gao played Dedra Miro, fantastic as well. Similar, her and Cyril Karn, or Kyle Solar's characters, have similar motivations as far as true justice and, neglect from their superiors. Not neglecting them necessarily, but neglecting their duties. And it's just great. Me and Jason watched this together, actually, and watching it, they're both going to meet, and that, which is fine. I was just hoping the whole time that they did it the right way. It wasn't corny, wasn't just, and it was great. Like, once they finally get into that interrogation and he calls her in, and obviously he had to go through moving back into his mother's house, getting a job with his uncle just to be in the position to meet her, but it was great. It was great, and they did it well, and the writing is good, and it's Stellan Skarsgård, the guy who played Luthen, also fantastic. He might be doing the best all-around just acting, I think, in the show, just because, he's playing two completely different characters and doing it quite well. Yeah, I'm very interested to see where his character goes in this next season. I thought Genevieve O'Reilly was great, the woman who plays Mon Mothma. I did think her sister in the show, I didn't look up the actress name, one of the weaker links in the show, not because of the actress, more so because of the writing for her character. Not because it's bad, I just think there's lack of it. There could have been more to her, I think, just because she's in the same exact position, and she always kind of just seems like, a wishy-washy, just go with the flow sort of character. But I'm hoping they expand on her more. And then lastly, Andy Serkis, who's been in multiple Marvel films. Most notably, he was Claw in Black Panther and Civil War. But he played Kino Loy from The Prison, and he was phenomenal as well. And those were just some actors I wanted to point out just as standouts, being absolutely great. One thing I didn't like for the story, this is a nitpick, just a nitpick, nothing serious, but they had a cliffhanger at the end of the season. I thought that was a little bit cheap. I didn't think they needed to do that. The story was well written enough where you could have just finished the season where you wanted to finish it. He's not going to kill him, obviously. Finish the season where you wanted to finish it, and then we would have watched anyways because it was so well done. There were so many moments where I thought the show could have gone bad, and it didn't. The weakest link in me to the show was Bix. I don't know. This could go. This is partially nitpicking, partially just the acting, really. Or could you? I don't want to say it's the writing. Because they didn't write enough for her. So maybe lack of writing. But she even looked like a mechanic in the first scene. She's got like lip gloss, eyeliner. She's looking hot as hell. It just wasn't believable. I don't know. I wasn't feeling the whole Bix thing. But they did keep that to a minimum. But other than that, I thought it was just phenomenal. And I am so looking forward to season 2, and I will be reviewing it in depth when it comes out. Unfortunately, I did not think this would be good, so I did not watch this when it came out, but I am regretting it, and I am a fan, and they pulled me back in. Don't forget to get in the comments, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.